everybody. Welcome to the Toylands Podcast. I'm Tom Romero.
Ian Westhoff.
How you doing today, Ian?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you?
Got a ton of news. Lots of good stuff to talk about.
Lots of stuff.
We actually do have a lot of stuff to talk about.
What do you want to?
We got Mezco. We got Ronin.
We got Wandavision.
Oh my god! Incredible episode. It really was my favorite episode of the whole season.
Yeah, it's kind of like
so far.
The payoff is coming.
Yes.
It was funny when the title is breaking the fourth wall, and I kind of thought to myself when I saw the title, I was like, what does that mean? And then of course you understand it's like a reality show. They have to talk to the camera. And I thought the way they handled her kind of melting down was excellent. Last week you explained to me about Vision, how kind of like how he's kind of like a reboot in a way. He doesn't remember, and they explained that.
Right.
So I feel like everything they explained, and same thing you said about Rambo becoming Photon. I kind of better understood that
or
now.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that was a little bit easier. Like, since I wasn't familiar with that, I kind of understood it better. It was a really good episode. A lot of stuff coming through finally. There's a lot of Easter eggs that I picked up like one, but there was one, the cereal she was eating was called Sugar Snaps.
Right.
Like a reference maybe to Thanos. So this is my idea to Disney, and I'm giving them the free one. They can do this. When the show's done, go back, and if you remember a pop-up video from VH1,
yeah,
have a pop-up for every Easter egg or thing in there that's going to tie in continuity to the Marvel Universe, and then release it again so we can binge it.
Yeah.
And I think from now on, that's what they should do for everything Marvel. Pop up Easter eggs or make up their own name, but because I picked up a few things, but I mean you were just explaining before about a lot of things that I didn't know. So I think that would be helpful. And then of course there's the theory of what's going on. Did you see the scene at the end of the credits?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. That was interesting. So I don't know if we should discuss.
Yeah, let's get into it. I just want to throw this up real quick.
There you go.
So we don't get yelled at.
Oh, Tommy, you spelled that wrong.
Wandavision sport. Oh, shoot. I did. Sorry, folks. I'm going on the fly here. So, you know what else was kind of interesting? I want to know who that child was on that milk carton.
Yes, I thought at first it was one of the kids, her kids, and I was like, no, probably not. But maybe it's like you said, it's Agatha's kid. You said she has a son, right?
She does. I'm thinking it might be Pietro.
But Pietro's dead.
I could be wrong.
And this version.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true too. But there was that scene where he looked dead. Like that flash right before she shoots him out.
So I think this is one of the rumors I heard, and I kind of fall into this category because I don't know much else about it.
Mm-hmm.
Theories are that he is Mephisto, and
right, but I don't know. I think that's too easy.
The reason why I say that is, one, the way he appears when she's thought of him dead, how he looks shut up. Two, the comment about the accent, where he's like, "Hey, where's your accent?" and she says it back to him. It's almost like he's catching her. And in 3,
yeah, he's testing her.
Right in the end of the episode, that the last credit scene, it's him. So if he's not Mephisto, then he's working obviously with Agnes or whatever her name is.
Agatha Harkness, yeah.
Yeah. So somehow
I knew it was her. I mean, any Marvel comic fan knew it was her. But I already knew the way they presented her, I thought was amazing. Like when the very last end, I was screaming at the TV. She was like, "I killed Sparky." I was like, "I knew it."
When it was like the Munster song in a way.
Yeah,
that's how like it reminded me of.
In this episode, check this out. Agatha's house is the exact same house or the exact same setup as the Bewitched house.
Now the thing with the basement was interesting with like the purple vines or something.
Right. You want to talk about the black hole?
Black hole.
There is a book. Apparently there's 6 or 9 books. I'm going to get emails. One of the books was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now this book is somehow connected or has created the multiverse. Folks, if I'm wrong, let me know. Please email me because I don't want to steer you wrong. And now that we're talking about it, I also want to apologize for last week's episode. I actually heard that the last episodes were going to be an hour long. Obviously, they're not.
Yes, Tommy.
I watched
it. I was like, that was an hour?
That's what I thought too. I was like, wait, something's wrong.
That's really good. That was a fast hour.
Yeah. So I apologize, folks. However, I did hear that the season finale or the last episode will be an hour with Cumberbatch.
So these books, though, if they created the multiverse, I thought the multiverse was created because of.
I don't know too much of the story. I just know one of those books is missing, and it plays a big part in the magical realm of Marvel.
I'd like to know if one of those books would be from the library with Wong in where he's in Kathmandu.
Possible. Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Right? Where just one of the books.
Someone said that the book was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the ABC show. I never saw Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I don't know too much about it. But
my guess,
they're like that's one of the Easter eggs or one of the main goals.
My guess is with Strange coming in, he's gonna save her.
That's what I'm hoping for. I don't think she's gonna be the villain.
I think she's gonna go villain. He'll save her, put her in some kind of catatonic state, and then it'll continue in the next movie where he'll bring her back to normal, and then that'll work into the whole night, whatever the name of the movie is, Nightmare Dreamscape, whatever. Which I think is probably the best. Kind of leave it on a cliffhanger. It's like, oh, great, I got to see this movie. In order to see it.
Well, I'm thinking the whole series is going to end on a cliffhanger anyway.
Yeah, and
now let me ask you this: who do you think is the Luke Skywalker level guest star? Because we already know Doctor Strange is going to be in it, so it's not going to be him. I have a crazy theory, and I know I'm known for my crazy theories. Like, Donatello was the last Ronin that went out. I've been following Robert Downey Jr.'s social media. Now, he said he's done with Marvel, but on the same breath, he was like, don't count me out. Or, I'm not going to leave, don't. Basically, he said he's done with Marvel, but yet not so much done with Marvel.
I think
we're talking about multiverses now. I'm just going to throw it out there. There's a rumor. There's a rumor here.
Throw it out there, Tom.
Just a rumor. I'm thinking it might be Tony Stark.
As a multiverse character, it could be interesting because he could be so many different types of an individual, personality-wise.
Right.
But it also could be some kind of holographic image that was implanted in Vision. Maybe for like a reboot of the system that he mentions Jarvis. So maybe that'll get triggered somehow, and I don't know.
Now here's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. All right, finish your thought. I got another one.
Or I think maybe Wanda could bring him for a moment, or Stark, or not Stark, or Strange can kind of like channel him for a moment. But I don't know. I honestly have no. I can't even guess anymore because I'm always wrong.
here's something that kind of bugged me a little bit about the episode. So Darcy knows the whole Marvel saga.
Yeah, she was part of it in a way, yeah.
Right, but how did she know about the creation of Vision? How did she know that Tony Stark and Bruce Banner made him out of vibranium? You know, how did she know about? She was telling Vision a lot of information that how was she privy to?
That could have been something that was just, written off screen.
She was just hanging out and just,
Well, she saw the movies, but like what I mean is like the character could have, somehow advanced. Like, why is she there to begin with? You can go with that angle that, like, somehow for whatever reason she was there. She had gathered that information and became at another level of intelligence.
Right, but who? I'm just trying to connect the dots here. Like, does Thor really have that big of a mouth? He told Darcy, his girlfriend's best friend,
but they're not even together.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, how does Darcy have all this information? She's not Nick Fury's right hand woman. Her, her, I could see having all that information, but Darcy, I mean, she was just
by the
her degree.
By the end of Infinity War, maybe just a lot of end of Endgame, maybe a lot of that information just came out after Ultron, or maybe after Ultron, a lot of that information just came out.
I don't know. I'm trying to connect the dots, but it just.
I think sometimes
I'm having a hard time.
There's some dots you don't need to connect, or there. A lot of the things.
Yeah, but that's like
like
Ant-Man's little girl, or even Peter Parker showing up and just be like, yeah, Ultron did this, that, and the other thing. I was like, well, where were you?
You could do it like this. You could say between either New Hope, Star Wars, and Empire, or Empire and Jedi, certain things happen. So the Emperor finds out who Luke Skywalker is, that he, like he's the son of Skywalker. How did they find that out? Whether, granted, there's comic books, extended universe novels, etc., that explain that. As far as the film is concerned, it happened in between those periods. There's like, here's New Hope, here's Empire, and in between is that time where the Empire finds out who he is. Between Empire and Jedi, Luke goes back to Yoda to learn more of his training, I would imagine. So we don't see it, but you hear a brief snippet, and it could be something along those lines where it's such a tiny dot to be connected to that you can't, because you're just supposed to take it as knowledge for the show.
I don't know. I think it's too much of a stretch, but I mean, they needed someone like Darcy, I guess.
Yeah, they needed a character with some kind of, scientific or STEM background, and they figured, hey, let's bring Darcy in.
Yeah, I loved Wanda in this episode. I love Modern Family, and her just waking up in her costume and going downstairs talking to the camera. I was like, that's awesome. Even Vision's part was awesome too. He's sitting here and he's like, what why am I talking? Why am I talking to you?
This is absurd.
This is ridiculous. What? I'm out. I thought that was pretty cool. We finally see the introduction of Photon, the future Captain Marvel. She's supposed to lead the Avengers.
Guess we'll find out, in the next.
I'm actually curious to see what costume they give her. Because that black and white costume she had in the comics, that looked actually kind of cool. I like the, Then
again, it's always the thing of something looks good drawn, but when you try to bring it forth on like the big screen, it doesn't really go well.
Right.
It's like Scarlet Witch, her outfit wouldn't have worked, or even Wolverine, the yellow and blue.
Yeah.
But or Quicksilver, when you looked at.
That was funny.
You would be like, yeah, that's kind of how it would look, So, sometimes it's better to kind of go, some people might disagree, but that's cool. I know. It's also Aquaman. He had that camouflage water blue outfit. It's like you never saw that one. Like so he's normally known for orange and green.
Right.
He had like a blue one at one point.
Oh,
It's weird, but So yeah,
so the commercial, the depressed girl.
Yeah. What was Nexus?
Nexus. Now, Nexus has something to do with the multiverse. Now, people are speculating that the 616 Nexus, Wanda is, or here, I'm explaining it wrong. The 616 Wanda is the Nexus 4.
Okay.
Now,
she's kind of
there's other right. There's other multiverses where Kang is the Nexus for that universe. So it was interesting to see that she takes the pill, and gets all better.
I like all the side effects that they list, like any other, medication commercial.
Yeah. You know what I am curious about? So in the opening thing with, Wanda, they show not the license plate, but they showed something with a bunch of numbers on top.
Yes.
I was curious. Yeah, I was curious.
Something to do with Stan Lee, I think.
Oh, okay.
There's been a lot of I've seen a lot of things on Instagram, and honestly, I have not stopped to look, other than to see his picture there, and then I'm thinking, oh, okay, something to do with Stan Lee, and just keep going because I just kept going.
Yeah.
No excuse, Tom. I didn't do my homework. But
I'm excited for these last 2 episodes.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to see. I mean, shoot, I knew Agatha. I mean, everybody did. We all knew who she was, but I did love how they presented her, though.
But you knew it, like you said. I didn't, because I didn't know anything about her, but so I knew because of what you said. But then they kind of play her midway as kind of she's like one of the scared residents,
right?
And
I knew she was faking.
I guess
she was faking in that car. I flat out knew that.
Yes. So, what was with those purple vines? There's okay. That's what I'm a little curious about. Maybe an Infinity Stone, because there's another rumor is that the stones are coming back.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it's a good theory, but I think they're trying to. I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe they're trying to combine both the science aspect of the Infinity Gems with the mystical aspects of Marvel. So that'd be pretty cool.
Could be something just as that.
Right. But
so
good times all around.
Yeah, you ready for some turtle talk?
I am. Let me just do this real quick. Hopefully, I can spell it right. All right. Okay, let's do that. Okay, let's talk some turtles. Last Ronin.
Oh, okay. So
this particular copy, I'm going to share this with the audience because this is how insane I am. So last week, and I swear to you, last week, I said, even if I have to go to UPS or
get it yourself
to get it myself. That's exactly what happened. I don't know if he's a fan. I don't know if he listens to us, but I showed up on Tuesday. I was in the neighborhood because from where I'm at, the closest comic book store is about an hour away.
Okay.
So I was in the area and I showed up on Tuesday. Now I used to work at a comic book store, so I know, when they get their books. So I was like, hey man, could I just get my copy? I'm not going to tell anyone. I promise. All I want is to save myself an hour trip back and forth, or a 2-hour trip. So the guy's telling me, well, we've had snow and stuff. All our stuff got delayed. I was like, what is the account number and where do you get your books from? So I go another hour out of my way to I'm not going to say which one, but they're where they get their books from. It's a hub. So at the hub, I'm like, here's my account number. This is who I am. Can I have my stuff? So they were delighted. It was like, yeah, we're sorry we couldn't deliver it, blah, blah, blah. So thank goodness the truck was already there so they can unload it. So they gave me the guy's shipment. I drive back to his store. I'm like, here's your stuff, man. Only wants that last
One copy.
So he was up and he's, so thankful. He's like, hey, thanks a lot. And here, just take the book. So I was so elated to get it on Tuesday. I could not take my eyes off of it. I mean, the Raphael cover is great, but nope, wrong one. Sorry. This is the cover that I love. I don't know why. I mean, it's a beautiful cover. Has everything. If I was a turtle, this is what I'd hope I'd look like.
It's gritty. It's, the shadows. It's nice.
Yeah. Sophie Campbell, excellent artist. So let's get into it.
So overall, did you like it?
I loved it. It's sad. Yeah, I mean,
yes. So
the overall thing was
let me
maybe because I'm getting older, but I was like, you know what? I know it's not glamorous. I know it's not fantastic, but whatever happened to just riding into the sunset?
Well, I mean, that's what this book is about. It's
I guess so in a way, because it seemed like
it depends on the character.
Raphael's end was so tragic if you think about it. To me, that's not going out into sunset. To me, that's just.
But that's
doing
probably
how you have to do.
That's probably how he would have went out anyway.
Yeah,
because personality-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we get into that, was this book? Did it have a different artist than the first one?
No, same guys.
The same artist? Okay. Mm-hmm. So,
although I'm glad you brought that up. I mean, let's see if I can find it. There is a scene. Here it is. Nope, not it. Where is it? I'm screwing this up, folks. I'm so sorry. Here we go. This
very old school.
You know who did this?
It's got to be Eastman.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah.
I mean, beautiful. This actually makes it feel like a Mirage book.
It is. It's a nice use of like black and white and gray.
Yeah, it's a Mirage turtle book. That's
So essentially in this book, Mikey wakes up. He's with April,
right?
And we see a few things. We see that April has prosthetic arm and leg, which we don't know why yet.
Right. Well, they do kind of allude to that. Apparently, there was some sort of explosion.
Yes. So we're gonna in the next couple issues. She looks.
Here, let's just real quick go in order. So the turtles they got jumped.
They're on the way to Casey and April's to celebrate the engagement party.
Right. They got jumped, and then Splinter's badly injured. They put him on the table. Donatello's losing it.
Right. He's actually for the first time not thinking clearly about anything. Understood.
He doesn't. Right.
Raph's just a mess of anger and probably guilt. And Leo comes back. He comes in finally saying that he lost them. And Raph's like, I want to go now. And he's like, no, not yet. And of course,
he sneaks off.
Now, just look at the picture of him. He's like bloodied up. He's taking the beat.
Yeah, and this isn't even.
This is like page one
of it. Right.
So he goes to battle, and he what was actually cool is when he starts going there, and you see him taking out the foot one by one. You just see like one guy go down. That part was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he gets into the fight with Kyra. Is that how you pronounce it? Or was Karai, thank you. I was pronounced that wrong. And that's where he dies. They fall in the water. And he stabs her in the back. And there we are. I wanted to ask you about that. You picked up on Easter egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Eastman and Laird. I love that.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. I'm so glad that's there.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're eating pizza too. So he stabs her, but I don't think she dies from what I've read online.
Well, what happens is, I mean, that's her in Oroko's
Well, that's right. Again, yeah,
regeneration chamber, whatever
yes.
it is. So here, yeah, they go in the water.
So I guess he sinks to the bottom of the river.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, yeah, maybe they'll show us later on, but
I mean, it's. I mean, this is it. She grabs that dagger, whatever it's called, and just goes right into underneath him.
Right.
I mean, it's just hard.
What I found interesting is that since Mikey woke up from that fall, and we learned a few things. We learned that the mutation in them has still grown.
Yeah,
it's making them heal quicker.
And again,
they look more muscular.
He's very suicidal, even in this book.
Especially, and this is kind of like what starts it all.
Right.
Where first he thinks,
I guess this is over.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, you kind of feel his pain because, like, he just lost his family.
Right.
And it's probably survivor's guilt as well. It's like, why am I still here? And then
his body, the mutation itself, just is not giving up. He's like,
right,
you're not dying.
Yeah. And like when he comes across these people they come across him in the cave, and they're just like there to kill for the pleasure of it.
Right.
I did like something which we touched upon in the first issue, whereas he was hearing voices. I like how we see the voices, the picture of them sitting at the table.
Right, with the tea.
And he's like talking to them, but he's talking to himself. But right. it was presented really creatively. I really enjoyed that part. And we also learn who from the first book, when they say, "Hey Jones, somebody stole whatever," yep. we learned. So that's April and Casey's daughter,
right? Casey, I thought that was a cute nod.
Look how built Mikey is compared to what he normally looks like. Just in this picture alone, he's much more muscular from the mutation. He's
Clint Eastwood. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's grizzled. He's scars and all that stuff. But I like when she's like, "Aren't you supposed to be the funny one?" And he's there's a lot.
How can you be funny at it?
Well, after all that, of course, there was one other point. I think you just showed a picture before this. What was that picture, Tom?
This one?
Yes. So Fugitoid, right?
Mm-hmm.
So somehow he's involved, which I didn't expect.
Well, here's what I want to get into. What explosion? Now, they allude to it, but I wonder if that's how Casey died.
Yes. So maybe, well, I'm going to throw this out there. Maybe it's, so she sends the foot out, or, the truce they had is over, obviously. Right. Maybe they go to the second time around store, and maybe that's they sort of a fight breaks out, and that's where the explosion happens, and that's where Casey dies, and possibly Leo, because of that cover for issue 3,
right?
Which is a beautiful cover of the mask hanging off the katana. Now, I don't know if that's what's going to happen. I'm just throwing that out there. It's a great cover, by the way.
So you're thinking second time is the rubble?
I think. I don't know, but I think.
Right.
It looks like by like some kind of apartment building anyway, because you got balconies. Throwing it out there, for this is an excellent second issue.
I loved it. Yeah,
it did what it needed to do.
It was so beautiful the way they orchestrated it, and by that, you have Ben Bishop on the flashbacks. That's fantastic. Then Kevin Eastman out of nowhere tells Mikey's new tale,
and there was never a word of him illustrating anything. Is that correct? Like nobody knew he was gonna illustrate?
No, I don't
maybe a cover.
I didn't think he was gonna do an interior.
Right. So issue 2 answers questions issue 1 gave us.
Right.
It set up questions for issue 3. and left us on a cliffhanger. Like, what better way for a second issue in a miniseries to perform than that? That is what a comic should do in a miniseries. Each one is like a step to the end, and not every miniseries. I'm going to say 99%. I think a miniseries never do that, but this really, it was like, here's issue 1, boom, here's your many answers, and here's some questions, and it's like it builds you up for the next one. It's like, well, we just learned that Splinter most likely died in this issue,
Right.
and who's Dr. Lee, by the way? Who they're taking? They were supposed to take Splinter to see a Dr. Lee or something like that.
He knows about them.
Okay,
He's
so
he's an actual doctor.
So we know Raph dies. Most likely Splinter's going to die in this issue. So it's like, okay, so there's 2 turtles left. But it's also like, who's dying next? And how did she get hurt? And what does Fugitroid have to do with this? And where's Casey? And it gave us so many more questions while answering so much. You know, it was just like really the perfect comic. And if this all goes like this is it 5 or 6 issues?
6.
Okay, so if it does all 6 issues is like this, and 6 because it's the final tally of everything, or maybe even a possible future for this turtle, this could be like the perfect miniseries.
Well, I'll be honest with you, IDW would have to be completely idiotic not to continue this story, unless from the rumors I've heard, it may be a prequel to The Last Ronin. So with that being said, I'm kind of scared that Mikey might die in issue 6. So I hope not.
So wait, you think this is the prequel?
No. They said that if they continue with this series, it may be a prequel to The Last Ronin.
Well, I don't think that's so much terrible because.
Well, I don't want to see him die yet. Like I said, I don't want to see where my characters have been. I want to see where they're going. But something like this is a wonderful amalgam of all of it. Like, we get where they're coming from. We're seeing how Mikey's gonna, continue on and move forward with his life, along with April. I mean, that's great that he's alone, but not completely alone.
Yeah.
We meet Casey, and I'm sure she's going to grow up to be a big part of his life as well. So I'm really hoping he doesn't die at the end of issue 6.
I think you could actually have an ongoing book with Mikey as a
right. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I would love to see that.
April might die, throwing it out there, but I think Casey will be around. But it would be interesting because it's not like there wouldn't be things for him to do, as so like you could do this, and you could do a crossover with the regular IDW book, and
I think that would hurt it though.
Well, you know what it is,
because I may be selfish, but to me this is considered a Mirage book. I know IDW puts it out, but to me this is a Mirage book. I think crossing it over would just do a disservice.
What if they had Renee come in with the Time Scepter and do it?
Yeah,
it's kind of a Mirage, though. Well,
still, yeah. So I just right now I like the feel of it.
It's kind of like
it's very grounded.
Right.
I know Fugitoid is kind of he's going to go into that. What the turtles have always been into. Space and aliens and things like that. And I'm curious. I'll take the ride. And if it does end up like that, so be it. But right now, I like the fact that it's grounded, self-contained. I want to see more of Mikey's journey. I mean, what got me is he's trying to kill himself twice.
Right.
He doesn't talk about it. I mean, obviously we know why. And we're getting this aspect from this warrior that wants to give up. He wants to end it all, but he can't do it until his enemy or whoever, the last Roku, is done.
Well, that's not. We don't even know if, in a way, he can't. Like the mutagen would even let him as well. You know,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a good point too.
So that's like, like it's like Wolverine wanted to be dead, and he can't because his healing factor stopping him in the most basic forms. I'll throw that out there.
Well, Wolverine did die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the bit, but you get kind of understand what I meant. The one thing I like is that, so if you read the IDW book, I really feel like that book is about family, and that's what Mikey's all about.
Right.
And so the fact that he's the last Ronin of his family, he's the last turtle left, last son, that really, that sense of family that Mikey has, that's got to also hurt him so much. Like, he didn't see Raph die, but one by one, his brothers are dying. His father died. It looks like his friends are going to die. Right. And that's got to, like, besides the survivor's guilt, there's probably so many layers of guilt and anger and rage and depression that he has, that it's like, and again, he's supposed to be the funny one. So it's like, what a arc for a character to go through.
Yeah.
Which
I wonder if they do find his body, like, down the line.
It would be interesting. I mean, he has the size, unless they're just other size Raph had or whatever.
That's true. Yeah, but, that's a good point.
How issue 6 ends could really be interesting as the character's story, as Michelangelo's story. And one last thing, so I don't want to, like, keep going on and on, but, like, if you've read, like, your Joseph Campbell and your Hero of a Thousand Faces and the hero's journey, this is kind of like reminds me of it in a way. And I never really expected this from a comic book. Well, maybe not in a long time, I guess.
I was going to say, because there's some
books out, obviously, that do that. But when's the last, like, can you remember the last time you read a comic that, like, actually, like, lit the fire in you like this?
Oh, yeah.
Besides issue 1? Like,
the last issue of Why the Last Man.
Okay, so how many years ago was that?
Oh, that's a great question.
So it's
been a while,
decade at least. So, like, I can't remember the last time I read a comic that was just like, oh my god, I can't believe it. So
yeah,
that's a great thing. It's like seeing a movie, like you see Star Wars in the theater, it changed people's lives. I was 2 when Star Wars came out, so even though I'm obviously a huge Star Wars fan, I didn't get that theater experience until I saw The Fellowship in the Ring, and it just, like, I'm a huge Tolkien fan, and it just, like, destroyed I was like, whoa. So that's, I think, what you felt with issue 1, where you were like, I want to read it again to get that feeling. Mm-hmm. That's how I have about this issue. So I think I kind of understand what you're meant now, which is, well done to everybody.
Yeah, take a bow. I mean, I can't wait for issue 3.
It was worth the wait.
And
the delays.
Yes. Even though I'm very, very hopeful that no more delays. And I can't wait for the director's cut in March.
Yeah. Oh, issue 1, right?
Yes. Hopefully that won't have any delays.
I can't wait for the trade in the end.
And here's something else. I'm hoping NECA's listening. Randy, if you're out there, make this figure, please. They do some amazing stuff. And you know what? I'll even settle for a Playmates figure. Not that there's anything wrong with Playmates. They're very nice to us. Sir. I love their stuff. I just want to see your last Ronin figure.
How about
I've seen customs. I want an official one.
How about a Playmates, a NECA, and a Mondo? Everybody make one.
I don't. Oh, that's a hat trick right there.
Right there. Boom. Done. Maybe one more to represent each turtle, but sure.
Well, you can get the whole series. I mean, you can have, I don't want to insult anybody, but you can have, prosthetic arm April or,
Yeah, well, with Casey and...
Casey. I mean, sky's the limit with this book.
Yeah, who knows what else is coming, too.
Yes.
Like, I don't know.
I'll be honest with you. Kevin said he'll be back on the show with us, Kevin Eastman. I can't wait till issue 6 so we could sit down and actually discuss it. And who knows, by that time, maybe we'll actually see some stuff coming down the line, maybe a new series, I mean, it takes at least a year, depending on what company you use.
Or
to make a figure. So who knows? Maybe there is a Last Ronin figure that we don't know about
maybe
yet.
get the announcement or get an announcement of the comic being
that would be so great.
Right, and the Last Ronin continuing somehow comic form would be nice. So maybe we'll get an announcement sooner or later.
Yeah. And here's a spoiler for issue 3.
Oh, I did not see the spoiler. Who's that dude?
I guess he's part of the new Foot. Maybe he's the new captain for Oroku.
Maybe.
But look in the background. You see all those pictures?
Yes, I was just looking at that. Well, that actually reminds me when in the comic when they said, you know, you failed to whatever he says to the guy, your new title is you have one, you're only allowed to fail once in bringing me back the turtles, and if not, you're going to happen to what it's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to the guy before you, and it's just this mutilated head with like ravens pecking at it. I was like, whoa, dude.
Yeah, this guy's for keeps.
There's no joke. Yeah,
no, and that's great. That's beautiful. You know,
yes, he's a foe.
I want not a super villain, but I want a villain.
Yeah, you don't want some little.
I don't want to see him like at the last moment be like, all right, I'm going to let you live. No, I want a hardcore evil guy. You know, I want Mikey's stakes to be elevated because let's face it, well, hopefully Mikey will win, but that victory will be so much sweeter if it comes from someone that evil.
And you know what's interesting? For the first time when you say hopefully Mikey wins, you just don't know if he's going to or not.
Not in this book.
And just about in every comic book, you can, of course he's going to win, but like in this book, you really don't know.
Yeah, and his stakes, I mean, his stakes are pretty high. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know what direction they're taking it at, but if he does die, I hope it's not by his own hand.
Yeah. And how great is that we have a comic book that you just can't predict?
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's going back to...
Well, it's an adventure story. You know, this is what I feel is missing from comics right now.
Yeah.
You know, everybody has an agenda. You know, this is a character-driven story.
That's the only agenda they have is let's tell the best turtle story we can tell.
Right.
And so far, you know, it's like 2 out of 2.
So let's get into news. Yep. 43 minutes. I'm going to count it down. So once the spoiler warning goes away, it's safe, kids. So Todd McFarlane has been a busy boy. He just announced Spawn Universe. It will be his interconnected Marvel-like universe featuring every Spawn character that's ever been created. Medieval Spawn, King Spawn, some new Spawns, She Spawn. So,
but aren't all the Spawns in the same world or no?
They are. That's his whole point. You know how like Spider-Man can meet Thor? That's
right.
what
so these are people
all interconnected.
Who became a Spawn in a way.
Right.
Okay.
But they're all meeting on the same places.
Same place.
Right.
Okay. So a lot of them are coming up from the past in a way. Like
I think just Al Simmons. Okay. So the plan will be featured 4 ongoing books starring multiple Spawn characters and will include Gunslinger Spawn, who later on will just be referred to as Gunslinger, Redeemer. I have to get back into Spawn because the last issue I remember, Redeemer turned into Reaper. So now he's got angel wings. I got to follow up on that. My favorite, Medieval Spawn and She Spawn. Now, McFarlane plans to expand the Spawn universe with interconnectivity, continuity, storylines, and team-ups. However, he did mention that you don't have to collect all the books to get the story.
That's pretty cool.
A one-shot is planned for August that will introduce the characters, and then in October will be the second Spawn book, King Spawn. And later on throughout the year, we'll see the Gunslinger and the Scorched, which is kind of like the Spawn Avengers book. You know, all the Spawn characters are going to be together. And that starts in December. Now, rotating creators include J. Scott Campbell, Mark Silvestri, Art Adams, Donnie Cates, Frank Quitely, Greg Capullo, Jimmy Chung, Sean Gordon Murphy, Mike Del Mundo, Sean Alexander, Brett Booth, Carlo Barbary, Javier Fernandez, Dave Finch, Puppeteer Lee, Sean Lewis, Ben Oliver, and Marcio Takara. I mean, he's got everybody in comics working on this.
Yeah.
So congratulations to him. And then there is a resurgence of Spawn ever since the success of his Kickstarter Spawn. I mean, this is great. He's got a movie. And some are saying he's doing this because he wants to make multiple Spawn movies. I don't know too much about that, but that Kickstarter Spawn just reignited the flame for Spawn. So that's great.
What is the status of the movie?
Limbo right now.
Okay.
I think him and Blumhouse, I think they're still looking for
still working on
financing.
it. Okay.
I think that,
and then again, you got COVID on top of it. So
yeah, I think that's the only thing right now that's stopping
kind
it
of preventing it,
is financing. And speaking of Kickstarter Spawn, if you live in Taiwan, apparently there is a problem with shipping. All orders for Kickstarter Spawn that are being shipped to Taiwan are stuck in customs. Mcfarland Toys has sent out an email regarding the status, so check your spam if you live in Taiwan. And now, get this. This is right up your alley. Mcfarland Toys is doing some Mickey Mouse characters.
Yeah.
So it's based on a video game that's on your cell phone.
The Disney Mirrorverse.
Yes.
Which will have figures that are 5, 7, and 12 inches. Which is actually, I wonder if that means, does that mean 3 different series of figures in those size, or characters that could be those size? So,
probably characters. Like,
so Goofy would be taller than,
right. Here's some of the characters that they were interested in.
So this is the Mirrorverse, so I'm taking it. Yeah,
it's based on a video game.
Okay. Interesting.
But I would love to see a Mickey Mouse from McFarlane. How cool is that?
He's known for his detail, so I'm trying to think like how they can detail a toy of Mickey Mouse much.
He'll probably be more cartoony. I don't expect to see Mickey,
like the mouse hairs or something. Like
I don't expect to see Mickey like with
whiskers,
crawl and be like, Although, if I can just throw this out there, I would like to see a Mickey Mouse Spawn figure, like a variant. That'd be pretty cool. I think so.
Yeah, there's probably a custom out there somewhere.
Yeah, probably. That's a good point. And speaking of more news out of McFarlane, like I said, he's been busy. He's got more figures coming from the multiverse, including Hal Jordan Green Lantern, Etrigan the Demon, the Captain Marvel Shazam, Dark Knight Returns Batman. I love the Dark Knight. I love anything by Frank Miller. And I can't wait to see his version of the Dark Knight. And now, here's some interesting trivia. Did you know, Ian, that Todd McFarlane did not only some of the inks, but also some of the backgrounds as a young artist on The Dark Knight Returns?
I did not know that.
Yeah. Apparently, what happened was he knew Klaus Janson, and I forget how the story goes, but they knew each other. He was falling behind on Frank's inks, and he just gave Todd a bunch of pages. He's like, "Hey, could you help me out?" And Todd, uncredited, just started going to work on it. So how cool is that?
Interesting. I had no idea about that. That's very interesting.
Yeah. So Super 7 gave us an update on their Disney line. How beautiful is that? That's gorgeous. Yeah, I love the Sorcerer's Apprentice, especially Mickey as a wizard. Yeah, I'm a sucker for wizards. So the Disney Ultimates from Super 7 will hopefully ship. Brian's very confident that we'll start seeing these guys this summer.
That's going to be great.
Yeah, they're on track. I can't wait to get my Mickey Mouse. I mean, it's going to be great. Super 7 has also released their schedule for shipping Transformers Ultimates. Now, Wave 1 will include Ghost Starscream, Optimus Prime, Bombshell, Bonsaitron that we've all seen. Wave 2 in the summer will feature G1 Megatron, G1 Grimlock in Dino mode, Bludgeon from the Pretenders, Trax from G1. Then later on in the fall, Tarn from IDW Comics, the Tank Megatron from Generation 2, Alligator Con from G1, and Wreck-Gar from the Junkions G1. So I'm really looking forward to those. And then, Ian, if you can take the last one, I need a sip of water.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I lost my place. The Infinity Train?
No, Thundercats.
Thundercats. My apologies. So, Super 7 is also giving you a second chance at Thundercats Wave 1, Lino, and Panthro. They will both be available for $45, and Mumra will be available for $60. They will ship in the fall just in time to have it I'm sorry, folks. They will ship in time to have so you can have your figures with the Thunder Tank.
Sorry, folks. I'm back. Okay.
Good news for people who missed that toy.
Oh, Thundercats are back. Now, I know Brian hates us, but I can't wait for Silverhawks now. Now, book 4, if you've been following the animated series Infinity Train, just got approved by HBO Max for book 4. Now, I've seen the first 2 books. I've seen part of 3. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't that crazy about part 3. I enjoyed part 1 and 2. Part 1 was a great setup. Part 2 actually fed off part 1, which was great, but I lost track at part 3.
I don't even know what it is, so I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have the channel, and I've never heard of it before.
Okay, so the way the concept goes, real quick, and can you believe this was on Cartoon Network during the kids' version? So something traumatic happens in your life, okay? You've done something that you're not proud of. You somehow end up on this train. It's kind of like a purgatory train. You look at your hand, it has a number. Basically, in order to get off the train, your number has to reach 0.
Okay.
So you're going through the train and you try and figure out any way to correct what happened in your life or a lesson that you need to learn in order for your number to go down to 0. Once your number goes down to 0, you go back to your normal life, a better person per se. Okay.
Yeah,
now the first
deep.
2, super deep. Now it reminded me a lot of Adventure Time, that type of storytelling, like things that stick with you. And by stick, so spoilers. There's a scene in book 1 where the hero of the story meets or actually gets copied. She actually gets copied, and the robotic version or synthezoid version of her wants to live a life of her own. So the hero from episode 1 goes on with her life, but leaves behind a part of her in the synthezoid. The synthezoid also wants to lead her life. So she tries to figure out a way to get off the train. Very compelling, excellent story. Book 3, I just couldn't get into. That's my spoiler review. If you can disagree with me, I hope you enjoy it. But I am kind of curious to see what book 4 is. I may give book 3 another try.
So Wednesday Addams. If you're an Addams Family fan, it's pretty tough to say, actually. Tim Burton's going to be making his TV directing debut on Netflix with a show based on Wednesday. Now, from first off, I love the poster, especially that she's playing that with a knife. It's just very odd. So it kind of fits up the Addams Family's alley. So she's going to be a teenager going to a school. From what I bless you, sir. Going to go into a school called Nevermore.
Oh,
Nevermore
that was on
Academy.
Shoot. Sorry.
It's all right. We all cough. So like she's going to be attending school in Nevermore. And so it's more, I guess, going to be based on her. And maybe the Adams will be here and there. Obviously, the first episode when they bring her to school. Maybe that's where Morticia went to school or something, or even Gomez. Christina Ricci, there's been that rumor forever because she played Wednesday.
So
and
excellent.
Yeah, this is the only thing I can say, what I would like to see. And I don't know if I'm alone with this one. Johnny Depp as Gomez.
You think he'd do it though?
I do. They're friends.
Okay.
They've done how many films together? They're great
true.
friends. Yes, I do. I'm very curious about the cast. I'm very curious about the look of the film. The look of the television show, and everything about it. And this is a new way to go, with things, because it was going to be a live action movie at one point, and an animated movie came out. And if you really enjoy the Addams Family, if you're a fan of Charles Addams, this is another outlook on it. So this, I'm hoping it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. And
Tim Burton's directorial debut on TV.
So it's like I'm looking forward also to the casting announcements. I think more so than other things right now.
Right. So here's a little bit of sad news, because this really was a great reboot.
It was a good show.
Disney's DuckTales, the reboot, will air their finale, 90 minutes long, entitled The Last Adventure, on Monday, March 15th on Disney XD.
But how cool is it that they're getting a 90-minute finale?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Usually they don't even get to end a series sometimes, and here they are. It's almost like it's a movie, basically. It's 90 minutes if they play it all together.
And we're going to talk about another animated show in a few minutes, but I'm thinking the only reason why this, because they had the ratings from what I'm told.
DuckTales?
Yeah. I think they priced themselves out. They got big names.
Possibly. And
or
you know what?
A-listers, kind of. But
Everything
for David Tennant.
Sorry. Everything about the show is good. It was written well.
It was an excellent show.
A lot of it was based off of Don Rosa's stuff. Nice looking animation. And
it paid homage to the original. It kind of gave it...
Did its own thing.
Right.
Yeah, but it was... You could watch it. If you grew up on DuckTales, you could watch it with your next generation of like your children.
Right.
You can
have fun with it.
I think it just ended because usually they run a show between 2 to 4 seasons, Disney, and usually that's what I've noticed over the years. So most likely that they never really I don't think they're going to plan on running it forever, as much as we would have liked it to, or longer.
But it didn't.
It didn't
How many seasons was the original? 6?
I think
7.
No, I think less.
Really?
Less. Yeah.
Okay.
But back then, was that show on every day or something like that?
Yeah.
So you're talking
Disney Afternoon
in the 80s. They did like a lot of episodes for those things, and Disney Afternoon was huge too. You got to remember with all those other shows. Yeah. But so farewell. Yeah.
It's. I would like to see it come back eventually.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will. Some capacity, just hopefully not Quack Attack again. I couldn't get into that.
Yeah.
I couldn't get into it.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah. So this weekend is Mezco Toys Fair, and they've revealed some interesting characters. Now, here's a character that is slowly making his way back. The Crow.
And it looks great. It looks like Brandon Lee. It's got the electrical tape. It's got the rope. That face right there,
beautiful.
Looks like Brandon Lee.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a mini Brandon Lee.
The fabric, everything on this toy is great looking. It's beautiful, and it's not just a toy. It's a beautiful. Tom, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a beautiful
rendition,
tribute, I guess, to Brandon Lee. he was amazing in this movie. And honestly, I always say this to people, and this would have been the movie that really set him out there as an actor, because he does so many different ranges of emotions. He was great in Rapid Fire with the martial arts, but this movie was just like incredible. He was incredible. And it's so funny you brought this up. I was just watching clips of it last night. But
and
yes.
here,
Cheers.
who else is coming out?
Cheers
Mike
up, clown.
Myers.
Yeah.
But there's certain, like I've noticed, Mezco's doing a lot with certain characters. He's one of them, Mike Myers.
Really?
Yeah, because remember last week we were reporting on
That's right.
the small miniature?
Yes,
Or
that's
the
right.
doll.
That's right.
And now he has his 112 figure, so they're really enjoying this license. And right now, if you log on to Mezco, you can get the exclusive toy chest for $175. You can have a 4 points Popeye, Krieg 13, which is their own character. I mean, he looks cool. You know, he's got cable parts and a unique head. And some other bag of cool stuff, really.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else you got. Some stickers, pins. Let's face it, folks. You're buying this for the Popeye and the Krieg figure. So, and now here's another example: Superman. I'm still waiting for my '78 Superman, my Christopher Reeve one. I can't wait to review it, but I just got the shipping notice today. So
this thing,
but
he's
built. Another one.
Yeah, he is built like he looks pissed off in that picture too. That's a nice picture.
Yeah, for you, Bill and Ted: Excellent Adventure, folks. 5 points, Bill and Ted with Rufus.
That's nice.
Yeah, I've always wanted my own miniature.
George Carlin. He
yes.
Out of the faces, he looks the best. George Carlin.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
these are cool.
Definitely,
very nice looking toys.
And then that's so far as of this recording what they've announced. So hopefully we'll see more stuff coming up. And then our heroes on the half shell in disguise from NECA. How those masks, man, they're so hilarious. So the whole set, you get 2 sets of heads, you get the turtles, interchangeable hands, a boombox. Now all those hats are removable. Also, the trench coats are removable. You get weapons for each turtle. You get the hair in the tortoise book, a pigeon, 2 pizzas, pizza slice, skateboard, a weird baseball cap. All this coming from NECA can be yours for the low, low price of $125.
I like the fact that there's a pigeon in it.
Yeah, right.
It's just like a random thing, like a pigeon.
Well, I'm sure
it's something to do with the cartoon.
They do their research really well.
But I just like that. It's just.
But I do like the fact that it's another time to get this version of Turtles. Like if you love the animated series, you know, you're gonna love this whole set. I mean, all 4 turtles, bunch of accessories.
In their disguise. I mean, you know, how many times did you see them go out with that mask on? Right?
It's great. Yeah. I mean, this is what makes being a collector so much fun right now.
Right.
You know, goofy stuff like this. And along with NECA, they've also teased a new Doc Brown from Back to the Future 2 with a case full of money.
This is actually really cool. That like the different years with the masking tape for the money. I like that. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Again, this is the cool stuff about being a collector. Like a kid that probably knows about Back to the Future, just be like, whatever. But it's these finite details that make collecting so incredible lately.
Sorry, Tom.
No, you're good.
Yeah. This is and it looks just like out of the movie.
Here, you want to take this one?
Of course.
Dun, 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 dun.
So NECA will be releasing images, as you see, of Bruce the Shark from Jaws, the Jaws movie. This looks to be like the next figure in their classic Toonie line, because he kind of has a cartoony look to it. The other tuning figures NECA has been done are the 6-inch figures. So I like how they have the poster with the toony jaws.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see a close up of that face though, like from the eyes. Or
it's coming.
It's coming, yeah. Look at the teeth on that thing.
Yeah, it looks cool. I mean, you can throw a stone and hit a Bruce the Shark figure. I mean, Mcfarland's done it. NECA's done it.
Yeah, people love Jaws. There's their fan base for that too. So it's like, I'm sure this would be popular.
Here, take this one too.
Yeah.
Oh, are you done?
Oh no, I was about to do this. Yeah. So NECA, this thing is beautiful. They've announced the Universal Monsters, and they have announced Frankenstein and Bela Lugosi's Dracula, as well as the Mummy, played by Lon Chaney. I'm sorry, the Mummy was played by Boris Karloff. My apologies. Here we have Boris Karloff's Frankenstein. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is
the detail.
Just look at the coat.
I mean, you expect this level coming out of NECA, but their character selection is beautiful.
You have the scar on the head, you have the bolts on the neck, and on that thumb, it looks like that little crease on your thumb. So there's so much detail. Then you got the shackles and the coat with the folds in it. It's just it looks like Boris Karloff as Frankenstein. And while my favorite Universal monster is the creature from the Black Lagoon, this looks great. I mean, this is just a nice looking toy.
Now, how do you feel about it being black and white? I mean, eventually, I'm sure we'll get a color version, but
I think what, it's fine. The movie is black and white, so in a way, you're sticking true to the roots. Do a color version, that would be cool too. And here we have the one for Dracula, although I'm not really sure why there's a giant bee on it. I'm going to be honest with you. Just a little tease. We got the coffin, but Universal Monsters, they're awesome. So I think I saw a picture of the Mummy, and he looked pretty sweet too. So these are going to be great. And speaking of great, Tom.
Now here's a character that has always been popular. He's not really making a comeback, but he has been announced for Origins, Masters of the Universe Origins, and it's Faker.
Was his sword always red?
Yes.
Really? Even with the original one?
Yeah, he was always... Well, actually, the original one was orange. This one's more gingerly, if you will. He's got the red hair, Skeletor chest armor, blue body.
But the sword was that always red?
Yeah, it was well, for this version it's red. For the original version, it's orange.
Oh, I don't remember. I just remember the blue figure.
So Faker Origins you can order them right now in Big Bad Toy Store. And speaking of Faker, like I said, he's a favorite now.
Can't trust.
Well, always a favorite, but I don't know. For me, I've heard a lot of different people talk about him, but for me, he's just a robot of He-Man.
The Bizarro He-Man.
See, that's how I always pictured him. Just he's a robot, so he's a little bit more intelligent. But Faking Filmation is a new documentary that will kickstart April 6th from our friend Rob McCallum and James Eatock from Serial Geek. The new documentary, Faking Filmation, documents the story of James Eatock's attempt to recreate a Filmation original. And it also tells the story of Saturday morning cartoons. Sorry, Rob, I hope I did it justice. Now, I've actually seen not the documentary, but James Eatock's Faker cartoon. It really feels like a Filmation cartoon. He should take a bow because it's very well written. It's cute. It's exactly what a He-Man episode from Filmation is. Now, check this out. Universal holds the rights to the Masters of the Universe Filmation cartoon, they sent James Etoch a cease and desist letter. So I don't know who's seen this, but he can't go public with it. So that's part of faking Filmation. We're going to talk to Rob pretty soon, actually, in the next couple of days. He's going to give us the rundown about the Kickstarter and the whole story, really. I'm so happy somebody is finally making a documentary and actually addressing Saturday morning cartoons. I miss them. I want a definitive reason. There's a million reasons why we don't have them anymore. But Rob is a fantastic filmmaker. I can't wait to see this.
Yeah.
I'll be right there with him April 6th supporting this. So April 6th, Faking Filmation. Log on to Kickstarter. And also I want to throw out a quick plug. Action Figure Adventure, which, thank you, Rob, again, that I actually am a part of in a small way, is now available on Blu-ray. You can order it from Big Bad Toy Store. So if you love toys, if you love documentaries about toys, I know we pimp out a lot of stuff here, but this is a fantastic film. It has heart. You know, it's not all about plastic figures that we love. This movie has heart. So please support them. Grab yourself a copy. Enjoy it. You won't regret it.
This is awesome, Tom. The Power Rangers turtle figures.
Yes. Based on the IDW book.
When I first saw it, I was like, is this what I think it is? Because I didn't think that was a turtle in a Power Rangers suit, but these are really cool.
Yeah.
So it seems like Hasbro may be releasing the figures under the Boom Lightning Collection banner. Green.
Well, the Lightning series for Rangers is
kind of like the Star Wars Black Series.
Exactly.
Okay.
Just for Power Rangers. And
so now,
if they're doing it in this form, I can't wait to see these figures.
You know what? I just realized that we have the Black Ranger turtle and then his helmet and what his shell looks like. I didn't realize that until now.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I'm glad they included the shell.
And then the Green Ranger Shredder might be a fan exclusive. So here we have the Shredder as the Green Ranger. I had never read this, so I do want to, but I really like the way they look.
And here are the regular Rangers.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. They kind of remind me a little bit of the Batman Turtles crossover figures.
Mm-hmm.
Those were good, although I wasn't too crazy about the way the Turtles looked in the Batman film. I thought they were a little too human-like.
Okay.
But these figures I'm actually excited to see. I think these will do great.
That would be a nice piece to your turtle collection, too.
Yeah.
For your turtle fan, it's like, how cool is that?
Yeah. And here's something that came out of nowhere. Batman 89 and Superman 78 are getting their own comic series. That's a great concept.
Yes. So they're going to be digital comic books. Is that correct?
They're going to start off as digital, and then in October, they're going to collect all the whole series into one.
So their time?
Yeah.
Okay. You lost sound. So that you said, just to recap, because I lost sound on you, they're going to be collected then into a graphic novel?
Right, in October.
Cool. So what's interesting is we have Sam Hamm, who wrote the script for Batman, writing the issues, and then the art would be by Joe. How do you pronounce that last name?
Quinones.
So the fact that Sam Hamm is writing it is pretty cool, especially since he did such a great job with the 89 version.
Yeah, and I believe Robert Venditti also did an episode of Smallville.
Okay. It would have been, I don't know if he's alive. Was it Mario? Who wrote the Superman script?
Puzo? Yeah, Mario Puzo.
Yeah, wouldn't it be cool if he wrote it? I don't know if he's alive, though.
Yeah, I don't.
But, if they stick to the...
He died after seeing Godfather 3. No, I shouldn't make fun of him. I'm sorry.
if they you're gonna find a horse head in your bed tonight. If
Mm.
they stick to the root and the heart of those films and tone, then those comics should be great.
Definitely. And then Mcfarland Toys. I don't know why I didn't mention this before. Here's updated pictures of the Gunslinger and the Redeemer.
His colors remind me of the Dr. Fate figure. They're blue and yellow.
Yes.
Right? It's not just me who thinks that.
No, definitely. He's their heaven figure.
Okay.
So,
The details on the wing.
And then, oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
I was just say the details on the wings. I mean, you can really tell the feathers and it's very it's very detailed.
Yeah, it's an excellent figure.
These colors are really nice. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of this character too. Like he's gone toe to toe with Spawn. And then the Gunslinger, McFarlane has said that that's his Punisher or Lobo.
Interesting.
Yeah, he does have a cool look though. I love the hat. Reminds me of Slash from Gunslinger.
Yes, I was thinking that, and I was thinking of that. I was thinking that coat. Was that a trench coat?
Yeah, they should all be in a band.
The trench coat though makes me think of Michael Jackson from the '80s.
Oh, okay.
Just because you're not seeing the whole coat, it looks
Right.
looks like a regular length coat because you don't see the end of the trench coat. But the top hat. I was thinking the same thing. It's like Slash.
So, Fan Friday from Hasbro Pulse gave us a couple of cool announcements. I'm going to start with my favorite one of the bunch, Dr. Doom from Battleworld. And there's been some discrepancy amongst fans. Now, according to the official listing, that's supposed to be Thanos' skull and spine. However, some people are saying that it's
Reed Richards,
God Doom.
Oh.
From Battleworld.
I was wondering what about the skull and the spine. I'm thinking that's so random until you pointed out there's a character behind it.
Right. Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
I was like, that's so weird.
It's on Dr. Doom just being like, you're dead now.
Yeah.
Reed Richards. A happy red skull.
Yes. Even he has happiness.
Hello. I have the cosmic cube. I'm very happy. Damn you, Captain America.
And this is a Build-A-Figure, I take it.
No, the Build-A-Figure will be...
Go back.
Zemunu.
If you go back, see but he's got the head of it. I mean, that's what I'm sorry. He's part of the Build-A-Figure collection because he's got the head of Zemunu.
Yeah, this whole wave is the
okay.
Build-A-Figure.
Yeah.
But since you mentioned it, it's Zemnu?
Xanadu? I don't know.
He's...
Zemnu.
Apparently, he goes way back into Marvel lore. Like, he was around the same time they created Groot.
I'm going to be honest, I've never heard of him.
Yeah, I mean,
he's almost
came
like
out of nowhere.
Like a frost giant Hulk in a way.
Well, apparently Hulk has fought him. He actually reminds me of the Wendigo.
Yes, I was thinking that too.
And along in that wave will include an AIM Scientist Supreme and Lady Deathstrike, Arcade with 2 heads, and Dormammu.
He's come to bargain.
Yeah.
I love that part in the movie.
And then the Walgreens exclusives were announced also. Quasar, who came out of nowhere. This is a great figure.
The cape is like a Starfield when you look at the back of the cape.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
nice.
Yeah. That's pretty much, I'm sure that's what they were going for.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a great figure. I may actually track one down at Walgreens. Mm-hmm. And then Nova is also a Walgreens exclusive. And I don't know what that thing is.
I think it's just a separate helmet. Or maybe, I don't know anything about Nova.
No, with wings? No, I've never seen him.
Maybe it's like some kind of...
Yeah, that's a new gimmick for Nova.
Maybe if anybody knows what it is, they can write us, because I'm not familiar with Nova, to be honest with you.
Now, here's some weird ones. Tony Stark AI.
Yeah, I don't like the way the head looks.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Maybe I'm missing out on
it looks like
issues.
The worst custom ever.
But here's something cool though. He comes with an additional armored head.
That's
so you can have your own classic Tony Stark from
Yeah.
You know,
That would
back
be
in the
nice. That's
60s.
nice. Yeah.
And then here's Cosmic Warrior Captain America.
He's pretty cool looking.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess you got to be a really hardcore
Well, you
Captain
know what it also
America.
has a look of like one of like the Japanese TV shows. If they like they had the Japanese Spider-Man show and where Spider-Man kind of turned into like had that giant robot and whatnot.
Right.
This kind of reminds me of like they had if they created their own Captain America show, and you know maybe he would be like this and some kind of like Power Ranger outfit kind of thing.
Yeah. And now here's a character I'm very unfamiliar with, the Hood.
Right. Now we were talking about this before. We were saying how the cloak made me think. I was thinking of Doctor Strange.
Right.
You know, he just forgot the rest of his outfit. But I don't. I'm not familiar with this guy.
Yeah, me neither. I have no idea where he just came out of left field from that.
Mm-hmm.
But he looks kind of cool. You know, he can fit very well into your Marvel line of figures.
Yeah, and if you needed just like a random looking person, take the cloak off and you have a random looking action figure for whatever you were doing.
Customizers. He'd be a big tool for customizers.
Yeah.
So let's get into some other interesting news. The Invincible trailer just came out this past week. Looked incredibly exciting. I cannot wait for March 26th, which will include the first 3 episodes on launch day.
Now, do you think this image right here gives too much away?
No.
If you read the book, yes.
If you read the book, yes, exactly. If you read the book and know what's going on, then yeah, it's appropriate.
Okay.
But if you have no idea, then it looks like Omni-Man's the hero.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Sorry. And this just came in. Ian just brought this up to our attention. So,
yes. Thundercats
Roar meets DC Comics.
So that is Aquaman and Mera, if you cannot tell, folks. I'm just going to come out and say this. It's fugly. I do not like the look of this.
I just want to know if it's a comedy. Because normally
if it is, I'm not
that
laughing.
type of animation style is, from what I've seen so far, it's like I've never seen it serious. I could be wrong.
Isn't the Thundercats promotion animation sort of like this?
Thundercats Roar was exactly like this.
Okay.
That's why I'm wondering if it's supposed to be like goofy.
But that was serious, though, wasn't it?
Slapsticky. No, it was goofy.
Oh, it wasn't? Okay.
Thundercats Roar was a veiled attempt at making Teen Titans Go.
Oh, gee, no. Teen Titans Go.
I mean,
that's so great.
Yes.
Here's the thing I don't like.
Don't repeat that formula.
Yes. Like, look at his eyes. I don't like the little, whatever they did for his eyes. His hand is ridiculous looking.
It's the kiddie style right now. I'm thinking right now, if it's not a comedy, they're trying to go for an extremely young audience.
Or this is just a cruel joke and it's not April Fool's Day yet. Because I just can't, please take it off the screen. I can't even look at it, Tommy. I don't like it.
So Thundercats Roar, apparently the creator of that show hated the Thundercats. Or he probably still does. From the story I heard, he used to tease his brother because his brother was a huge fan of Thundercats. He didn't like Thundercats, and so, well, we all know what happened. He pitched a show that he hated, made fun of the license, and now is canceled.
So he took sibling rivalry to the ultimate level.
That's one way of looking at it.
His brother, he busted his brother so much for liking it. His life goal was to take his brother's favorite toy line and ruin it for him. Yeah,
that's exactly what he did.
That is like Lex Luthor style thinking and planning when you really think about it.
But look at the waste of money, though. I mean, you could have done. You could have made
a decent show.
Yes.
Instead of like why?
You know what? I'm not gonna go into the basics of it, but I mean, yeah, we could say, so he took a concept and just ruined it. But there are people out there that actually thought this was a great idea. Yeah. So,
but to purposely ruin it, just like
I I think he set out to make a Teen Titans Go.
Okay, all right.
And I'll be honest with you, the hardcore. I love Teen Titans Go.
Oh, I love that show.
The hardcore Teen Titans audience out there hates that show.
Here's the thing. That's probably correct what you said. I like the idea that he just went this to piss his brother off. I'm gonna go with that version because I think that's something I would maybe do to my siblings. But yeah, Teen Titans Go is such a great show. I love that show.
Now
waffles.
Yeah, waffles. I want to end on a nice note. I just want to say a happy birthday to someone that has touched the He-Man and She-Ra community, Mr. Larry DiTilio. It would have been his 73rd birthday this past week, and I've met him. I was fortunate enough to meet him. We had dinner together. A fantastic human being all around. He shared so much stories of He-Man and She-Ra with me. I wish I had a tape recorder to remember that moment. So, Larry, wherever you are, thank you. Happy birthday. I mean, this man, it was incredible. He pretty much wrote a lot of our childhood also. He's one of those gifted writers. You know, he not only did the original She-Ra, he wrote some of the best episodes for both versions of He-Man. You know, I mean, he created Granamir, you know, one of the greatest characters in He-Man Masters of the Universe lore. So happy birthday, Larry, wherever you are. And that does it for another exciting spoiler-filled episode of Toy Lines. So come back next week, please. We're gonna have an incredible show for you next week. You're not gonna believe it. So I just want to go over my list real quick. Thank you to Brian Salvatore for our intro and outro music. If you're looking for something, forget the scammers. Head on over to #collectors helping collectors. Thank you to Scott Knightlick at Spectre Creative. We are now on YouTube. Please tell a friend. Hit that subscribe button. Ring that bell. Let everybody know, because the more people that can join the conversation, let's face it, folks, we're all in this together now. Now you're stuck with us. Join the conversation at toyspodcast@gmail.com. We are on every podcast platform, Apple, iHeart. Please subscribe, give us a rating, or do both. Enjoy our newest show, Rocketeer Radio, with our host, Ian Westhoff.
Thank you.
And I run a little thing called People of Eternia.
Yeah, that's... Don't sell yourself short, Tommy. That, folks, that's the show to go to for anything He-Man related.
It's getting bigger. We have some stuff down the pipeline.
Tommy had been working on this for so long, and he's been so patient with it. That's the thing. I was not patient. I was like, dude, when can I launch? When can I launch? And you've been very patient building your show and getting your what you want to do and all that. So he has so many things planned and in store for He-Man fans.
I'll be honest with you. I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. I'm getting to meet new people that I've never talked to. I've had the best episode right now is out featuring Danielle Galerta, Penny Dreadful herself. She writes the bios for Masters of the Universe. Great. I mean, it's one of the best interviews I've ever done. So please do yourself a favor, log on to it. It is getting better. We're getting higher, and just join us. If you love He-Man, join us. And Rocketeer Radio. I believe Ian does it from a cafe of some sort.
Yeah,
with a dog.
In the attic of a dog. It's, that's...
If you want to see the pictures of all the cool stuff we're talking about, please log on to toy-lines.com. You can see what we're talking about, latest toy reviews, some commentary. I know we've been, lacking on the articles, but I just went back to work, so time is crazy. If you like what you see here, and if you're inclined to do so, please support the channel. Buy a t-shirt. You can go to teespring/toylines/store/-2. I don't know why we're still working on getting that, but yeah, we're also going to be coming out with People of Eternia shirts.
Nice.
And there's a whole line of clothing for Rocketeer Radio. So if you love the Rocketeer, please buy a shirt. Follow us on all social media, Twitter, Instagram, @Toylines, Facebook, @Toylines, or Toy Shelf Magazine. I'm Tom Romero.
I mean, what stuff?
Play with your toys!
Waffles.
We'll see you next week.